my tricksters? It's your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero back again, and this time we're going to be doing some decks from under the sea. Because I got a new card and I wanted to test it out, and I wanted to see how well it does, and we're going to talk about that shortly. But real quick, if you guys want to support this channel, the best way you guys can do that is to go to my merch store. Link in my link tree as well. It's my spring store. You got this cool line of new Trickster Omni Hand shirts. The other way you can support this channel is if you go to your playmats, link in the description below. Also with my code, if you want to use that, you'll get you 10% off, and you can go to your playmats and they make custom sleeves, mats, anything that you were looking for right here, and they can put any kind of artwork you would like on that. Anyway, let's go check out that deck profile, shall we? Alright guys, now that we got the spiel out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about this new stuff. I got this Dream Shark. So this is the new card I just got. I picked it up recently and I wanted to test it out. Just it was a cheap, cool card and I wanted to test it out. So we're going to kind of talk about it and I'm going to tell you the pros and cons. So the first thing that you need to know about the Dream Shark is that this card is a chump block. So basically, the first time this guy would die in a battle, he doesn't, which in the grind game has came up in my experience, as well as he's level 5, which is a little bit of a weird level for this deck, I'll admit, but we only have like one monster we're trying to make with this guy anyway. And there is a way to make him, in case you guys don't know. And basically this guy is Photon Thrasher. If you know what I mean, like you can summon him for free if you don't have any monsters at all, or if the only monsters you control are water, which is 90% of what this deck is. Then we have Buzzsaw Shark. Oh, before we get any further into this deck profile, I want to remind you guys the replay footage will be at the end if you want to see the deck in action. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to the Ben 10,000 yugioh channel. Make sure you leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you think of the deck profile. And yeah, let's continue. So we got the Buzzsaw Shark, the king of this deck, basically. And we're basically playing 7 copies of this card because of Beautiful Fish and 1-for-1. Beautiful Fish can tag herself out to get to this guy. Can also get to the other ones, but you know. One of the only rank 5 monster we're trying to make in this deck is Valiant Shark Lancer. And this card existing in this deck actually does facilitate that play. Used to, we had to get this very like specific Lantern and Buzzsaw Shark on the field, and that was just kind of a waste to do that, so it was just better to go for like the level 4s. But this guy existing has opened up that play, and he doesn't. And also the fun part is it doesn't, because he can summon himself for free as long as we control water monsters. Well, the fun part about him is that he just, you know what I mean. All of our monsters are water, so we can play him later, and then make the Lancer afterwards to get that extra for that extra pop. You know, so we're literally just Zodiac Trident the deck, basically. Also, this card does have a graveyard effect. He can special summon himself. If a card effect would inflict damage, we can reduce that. We can reduce that damage to 0 and special summon this guy, but he'll lose 1,000 defense. Now that effect will rarely come up, but you never know. In time, this might be a card that we might, as Shark players, might decide we want to play in time if we're playing this deck at an event in the future. So keep that little effect in mind. And then, like I said, Buzzsaw Shark and Lantern Shark can change their levels to 5, 3, and as well stay at 4, so that they can be used for any exceeds for any of those, just, you know, in the future reference. Buzzsaw Shark taps on a monster, and basically it summons another fish from the deck. So you can pick itself, you can pick another one on the field, doesn't matter. Then we got the right-hand Shark. If there's no cards on the field and this guy's in the grave, you can sell special summon for free. And any Xyz monster that is made with this guy gains the effect where it can't be destroyed in battle. So that's really cool and really useful. Then we got Lantern Shark, just summons from the hand, but it's a hard once per turn. Then we got Silent Angler, free special summon from the hand. Make sure this is the last special summon that you're doing for the turn, or you're going to lock yourself out, just FYI. Sea Nettles does lock you into water, which is fine, though, because we only have, like, I want to say, like, 4 monsters that are not, out of the entire extra deck, that are not water. So, Silent Sea Nettles. Yeah. Then we, like I said, you got the Tuna Fish. You play her, she jumps off the field, and she goes and gets Buzzsaw Shark. We also have 1-for-1 to go get to her. So basically we're playing 7 copies of the Buzzsaw Shark. Just real quick, yeah, Ash Blossom is a pain in the ass to this deck. We don't like Ash Blossom. Damn gatekeeper cards. I'll explain to you all what that is another time. White Mirror is like Monster Reborn and Rhoda in this deck. So basically, we bring back a fish, and then we can search another copy of that fish and add it to our hand. So that's kind of neat. The big combo is to do that with Silent Angler. So basically, it's like you'll summon Buzzsaw Shark. You'll go get your Silent Angler. You'll go make something like Bahamut Shark. Get your Toad. Then you'll White Mirror. Bring back said Silent Angler. Add an Angler to your hand, and then you get to special summon that said Angler. And then you should be done special summoning, and then you can get your Krieg in, or you can get Abyss Dweller, whatever you feel like you need for your matchup. So that's just fun there. Then we got our Pot of Desires, draw cards, Upstart Goblin, draw cards. We've got to get to our stuff quick. Monster Reborn. This is kind of a worse White Mirror. It's just an extension card. Forbidden Chalice. This card's actually really good. Every time I drew it was useful. So it's kind of a worse imperm, to be really honest, but you can use it to break boards as well. So in most cases, it was indistinguishable in my experience. Then we got Twin Twisters, just because there is more back row being played in decks these days, so you might want to have some extra stuff to do. Also, it helps put things like Dream Shark in the graveyard, or Right Hand Shark in the graveyard if we happen to draw it, which Edo Pro loves to stick that card in my hand. I don't know why. Mostly, I think because Edo Pro hates it when I play non-meta decks, but, it is what it is. And then we got Torrential Tribute. This card is just a Dark Hole and Trap format. And we can combo it with Kriegan, so that's where that comes into play. Then we got Dimensional Barrier. This card is actually really important right now. We are playing up against a lot of fusion-based decks, which I find absurdly annoying. But unfortunately, it's just, with Tear Lament running around and, of course, Branded running around, you're going to need that extra oomph against those kinds of decks. And turns out Dimensional Barrier has been really handy in giving me the oomph over those decks. Then we got the Goza Match. Combo with the Kriegan is just mwah. Excellent. Super powerful. Really puts my opponents in binds, which I really appreciate. Has slowed them down exponentially. Then we got our extra deck. We got the one Link Monster. The Water Charmer. You probably will never use this most of the time when I'm using it. I am using it so that this monster will die and I can get a search. Because in my experience, when I was playing the Dream Shark, there would be times where I would have to use the Dream Shark and an Angler or a Sea Nettle, so I could go eventually get to something I could actually use, like a Buzzsaw Shark, you know what I mean, or a Tuna Fish. So I would make her crash into something, go get the search, so I could actually make something I wanted to make on the next turn. Or an opponent, or somehow I got an opponent's card of some kind that wasn't, like, I remember in one game I was up against a Sky Striker player, he kaiju'd me, and then all I had was a Dream Shark and the kaiju, so I made this so I could crash and make plays. Then we got Abyss Dweller. This card is uber important. You probably could also, for those of you at home, you can play more than one of Abyss Dweller in yours if you want to. I do have room in here. There are Exceeds that I just play because I like them, not because they are relevant to anything. So at home, you have room to make tweaks to your own liking in this deck. Then we got the Kriegans, Stealth Kriegan and Stealth Kriegan Spawn. 2 and 2 has worked out great for me. I haven't needed any more, and the Sea Nettle puts all the stuff I need back. So awesome, just amazing. We got with the Kriegan, the burn damage makes such a difference. Just don't use Kriegan on any of the Tier Lament monsters. You will be sorry. Then we got Silent Honor Arc, which, like I said, this is one of those cards, like I was telling you guys at the beginning, that you could take this out and put it in Abyss Dweller if that's more your prerogative. This card did come in handy a few times in my experience for certain cards, but not everything. But it's just, you could put something more useful to you in there. But Guska, I would keep this one in if I was y'all. There was a few matchups where this card was really able to save my bacon to let me come back. The Tornado Dragon, back row hate. We need more back. Every deck needs back row hate in some form or fashion these days, because we have lost certain things and players are playing. They're playing more back row. I don't to kind of try to overcome certain meta decks. You're gonna need cards like this. I'm looking at D-Fissure and back row mainly. This deck isn't as hurt by those cards as other decks would be, but we do not want to lose things like our right-hand shark, so, you know. Then we got the Crooked Cook. Against certain decks, this could be a killer, because basically if we make it with right-hand shark and then our opponent, say, has gone through a lot of their deck, more so of their deck than us, we could potentially deck them out. So that's a really cool move as well, just having a good, strong defensive play, as well as something like where we could just crash into something. While we have, like, if we have made right hand shark to make this guy so he can't be killed by battle or card effects, and then we can make Zeus. That's a really fun combo, because it basically ensures that we'll at least get to Zeus. This is another card you can take out, the Dragon Spider Shark. I just liked it because it looks cool, but you don't have to play this thing. You can take this guy out. All he does is you detach and your opponent's monsters lose 1,000. So he's kind of a beat stick, but there are better beat sticks out there. And then we got the Totally Awesome and a Bahamut Shark combo. You guys need these guys. They are integral to the deck. You have room to take stuff out, put more more Abyss Dwellers, and put more copies of these guys in there if that's your prerogative. Valiant Shark Lancer. This is the only reason why we have the Dream Shark in the deck. He's just a bigger Stealth Cregan. And I just like him. The cool thing, his cool gimmick is that while there's other water Xyz monsters in the field, he can detach their materials to use his effect, which is kind of useful. And as well as pop stuff, which I like. So, and then we got Sky Thunder, Zeus. This guy is, like, broken. This guy should also be at 1, but that's that's a discussion for another day. Why I think that, yeah, I would only play Sky Thunder at 1 anyway, but that's just me. As far as the sideboard is concerned, you can pick something different. And I'm still messing with this, but the only thing that I'm probably going to keep in this is White Howling, just because there are spell decks still running around. Like Runic has tried to steal wins from me before, so you can flip White Howling, and then Runic basically cries because all their spells don't work, and you can just punch them to death. So keep that in mind. You get your White Howling going, and then you can proceed to just punch them. But yeah, this has just come in handy too many times. Even against decks that don't do it. Like, I remember there was a branded player I flipped this on, and they were kind of mad at me. But yeah. So that's the deck profile. I hope you guys like this. Like I said, like and subscribe at the beginning if you're new here, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And let's go check out the replay footage, and then we'll be hot-tailing out of here. So let's go see the deck in action.